Hi, good evening, and thanks for joining me. I'm Dr. Lee of ASU Family Services, and tonight I'd like to talk with you about structural family therapy. Fathered by Salvador Minuchin, this theoretical model aims to disrupt dysfunctional relationships within the family by examining and restructuring patterns as maintained by invisible rules, or by fortifying boundaries between its members or subsets. But instead of just telling you about all the many wonderful concepts found within this model, I'd like to show you. With her permission and that of her clients, my colleague Sarah has allowed us to have this opportunity to view one of her sessions as she utilizes the structural family therapy model. Sarah's clients, Justin and Stephen, have been together for almost 2 years. Justin, who is 31, is a pastry chef, and he owns his own bakery. And Stephen, who is 33, is a nurse in the neonatal unit at a local hospital. The couple first sought out therapy with the complaint that Stephen's interest in sex has decreased over the past year, particularly within the past 6 months. Stephen reports, "I work long, hard hours. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood." But Justin contends, "I know he works hard, but he's never in the mood anymore. I'm busy running my own business too, and I'm still in the mood. He used to always be interested in me, but now I feel like he's not attracted to me at all. I don't understand what has changed." Upon further assessment, the therapist has learned that Justin grew up in a household where sexuality was openly discussed and homosexuality was accepted. Justin reports that his family has always known I'm gay and describes his relationships with his parents and siblings as supportive. Justin also reports having been in relationships with men in the past. The therapist has also learned that Stephen grew up in a traditional Jewish household where his mother stayed home while his father worked. Stephen's father passed away during his second year of college, leaving Stephen to help support his mother emotionally. Of Stephen's first serious relationship with a man. Additionally, the therapist has learned that Stephen's mother was not aware of his sexual orientation or of his relationship with Justin until about a year ago. Justin and Stephen have reported Stephen's mother gradually spending more and more time at their home. Justin reports she always is there. She does all of the cooking and most of the cleaning, and she doesn't even live with us. What she does is great, but sometimes it gets to be too much. Stephen reports, "She knows how busy we both are, she just is trying to help." The couple denies having any past or current substance abuse issues, and the couple has reported not having any medical conditions or illnesses, and neither currently take any medications. There are also no reports of domestic violence in the couple's relationship. The following proceedings are real sessions with real people with real problems. I invite you to watch Sarah as she utilizes the structural family therapy model to deal with sexual issues.
So it's great having you guys in here today. I wanted to start out by gathering information about you guys. Stephen, what do you do?
I'm a nurse at a neonatal hospital.
Okay, how long have you been doing that for?
I've been doing it for about 8 years now. So.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Fantastic.
You know, I like little kids.
But man, I bet working in a hospital as a nurse, you're pretty stressed a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the little kids, they don't wait for anybody. They let you know exactly how they feel. So.
Sure. Justin, what do you do?
I own my own business. I'm a pastry chef, so own my own bakery. Yeah.
Fantastic. How long have you had your own bakery?
5 now. It's been a while, yeah.
Wow, fantastic. You guys have got a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot.
Fantastic. How long have you guys been together?
A couple years, 2 years, almost. Yeah, we're coming up on 2 years.
Almost 2 years. How did you guys meet?
Well, I've always liked, baked goods, and I'm a bakery kind of guy, and so he makes a really good bear claw, and I went in there and he started hitting on me. So
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have been together for about 2 years now. You met at your bakery, is that right?
Yep.
So I'm curious, what brings you guys in today?
I guess I'll start. I don't know really what his perception is, but for me, we're not really intimate anymore. We don't have that time to be intimate with each other.
I see.
I don't know. I think just the way him and his mom's relationship, I think could be interfering a little bit. She's over a lot, like a lot.
Sure.
And she does a lot of chores and housework and cooks a lot. But
being helpful,
Sure. So, Stephen, do you agree that this is interfering in your intimacy with Justin?
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, you can't really just be as free as you want to be when your mom's there. It's not like it's what everybody wants to think about when they're trying to get intimate, but
Sure.
I mean, it's there's a lot of things that go into it. I mean, there's a lot of things that have gone on with the family, and there's reasons why she comes over. It's it's not all bad, but yeah, it makes it hard to be emotionally intimate, close.
Sure. So you guys are here today because you're concerned about reduced intimacy in your relationship. Is that right?
Yeah, for the most. Yeah, I think he doesn't seem like he's interested as much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not interest. It's I mean, there's interest, but there's just there's the mom thing, then there's work. It's busy working at a neonatal unit.
I mean,
was on call a lot.
So you've got a lot going on. You're saying that I'm working a lot. My mom's around the house a lot. There's a lot that's kind of going on for you right now.
Yeah. But I feel like it's always kind of been like that. I've owned my business for a long time. He's been doing this for a long time. So it's nothing new. We've always been busy. But this hasn't always been a problem.
So this is confusing for you.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
It's true. I mean, it's gotten worse since my mom has been coming over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How long have we had this concern?
For me, probably like the last 6 months maybe, but maybe a little bit longer, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Stephen, how long has this been a concern for you?
I mean, that's about as long as she's been over.
Okay. So you're kind of seeing a trend. It sounds like mom started coming around the house more frequently around 6 months ago, and that's when you guys have kind of started to notice this concern enter into your relationship, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What have you guys done to address this concern?
I tried to talk to him about it, but
Mm-hmm.
he's so busy that he doesn't really want to talk about it, I guess, or doesn't think it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't really know. I guess we haven't really discussed it very much.
You guys haven't discussed it.
Well, I don't really don't talk about it, but I mean, he tries to do special stuff to get us in the mood, and if there's room to be in the mood, because if she's over, then, it kind of puts a stamp on the mood.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's been great meeting with both of you today. I'm still getting to really know you guys. I don't want to really call it a homework assignment, but I'd really like for you guys to start observing and noticing the conversations that you guys are having around this specific topic, particularly any conflicts or arguments that you guys are having. And then I'd like to pick up next session starting with that. Could you guys come in next week, same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Sure.
Perfect. Well, I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
So welcome back. I asked you guys last time to think about how conversations around your concerns go. So I'd kind of like to hear from you guys today. Have you guys had any recent discussions about what brings you guys in today?
Yeah, we actually had an argument the other day.
Really?
Like just earlier this week, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We just started having a conversation about us kind of talking about this stuff more, and
Well, it wasn't just a conversation. Justin tries to initiate intimacy.
Okay.
He does. He tries, and I have to give it to him. He tries.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it was a situation where he was already home, and he knew I was coming home, and so he had stuff that he would put together for a special night.
Oh, okay.
And so,
but your mom was there, so
yeah, well, I mean, she knows when I get off, and so she's timing it for when I get off, and she doesn't know that he has something planned, and so when I come home, we have, 10 minutes to talk about, getting in the mood. And
I mean, like I had candles out and massages and stuff.
I
Does she not get that that's where it's going?
I think she does. She
frustrated.
probably does.
Okay, so I hear you guys telling me what happened, but I wonder if I could see what happened. Could you kind of act it out for me and show me exactly what happened?
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's kind of
Like
weird,
you want
but-
to like talk like we're having a conversation.
Yeah, act it
Okay.
out so I can see exactly what happened. I know it's a little unnatural. So you have this whole evening planned out, you prepared candles and things like that, massage oils, and you've come home and kind of show me exactly how the conversation went.
So you came home and
You were trying to start the evening off, you know, kind of romantic, and
yeah, and I feel like you didn't really like appreciate what I did, and you weren't really into it. I don't understand why. It seems like it's happening a lot lately, you know.
Yeah, I remember coming home and feeling pressure. Actually, I remember feeling pressure.
So what did you say when you felt that pressure?
What did I say? I think I said, did I compliment you on all the stuff that you did? But then I kind of
I feel like you noticed it, but you didn't. You just kind of blew it off.
What did he say that made you feel like he blew it off?
He just said that you just weren't in the mood. It wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember I came home and it was a long day.
Sure.
And I came home and I knew that he had put a lot of effort into it, but
then we were trying to discuss it, and then your mom came in and tried to talk to us.
She knows when I come home.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, she came in, and that's when she kind of took over the conversation. She's just asking me about family stuff and other things, and I don't know, Justin got really frustrated.
I don't think that was an appropriate time to maybe talk about family stuff. I don't know.
Okay. So you guys are having this conversation, and Mom comes home and she starts talking to you about other things, family-related matters, and you got frustrated. And then how did you respond? How did you know that he was frustrated?
Well, I mean, he gets this like a look and a posture. It's just him realizing that once my mom gets here, then the door is kind of shut on a bunch of stuff, and so eventually he's nice to her, but he goes into the other room, into the bedroom.
Okay.
And then and so it's kind of, I know it's over then because he's in the other room.
Did you guys ever come back to this conversation later on, maybe when Mom left?
We tried.
Well, I mean, I think he was kind of put out. He put a lot of effort into it, so by the time Mom left, and he was pretty much asleep. So the next day, it's like, it's easy to forget about it and to go on there.
We didn't really address it, really.
Okay. So it was never really resolved for you guys. It's just kind of a topic that kind of got left in the air and kind of swept under the rug. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have our own space. We don't have our own.
Does that happen a
She has
lot?
the key to the house, and so she doesn't even really knock anymore. She just kind of comes in.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys feel like this happens a lot? Does Mom kind of cut into the conversation a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure it's all her fault. I mean, obviously, even if she wasn't here, we still have to try to have these conversations. I don't know that we've been successful at that either way, you know.
What do you mean you'd have to try to have these conversations?
Well, because she's there, she's kind of the thing that's making it difficult to have the conversations, let alone have the time alone.
Okay.
But even if we were together, we really haven't had a chance to really be alone to see if we were going to have a problem talking about it.
I see.
You know what I mean? So it's not just, my mom. It's I don't know. It's hard for me
Sure.
to. This is my first relationship. So.
This is your first relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin, is this your first relationship as well?
No.
No. Okay, so you've had past relationships in the. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Stephen, has your family been aware of your sexual orientation for a while, or have they just kind of recently found out?
It's been more recent, and you talk about trying to acclimate to it. It was hard enough for me, but it was harder on my mom. My dad died before he even knew about any of this. So it was my mom that had to kind of react and respond. And
How did she respond?
you know, her first reaction was she couldn't understand what was going on. She knew me my whole life as someone else, and this just didn't match with what she knew. And but then eventually she loves me, and so she wants to be supportive, but she still doesn't know how to react. She's not comfortable around it, but she's trying to be supportive. So
I feel like that's part of the problem, because it just doesn't seem like it's as accepting as maybe what I used to. I've been like this obviously my whole life, and it was always talked about, and it wasn't a secret. And
so your family's been aware for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're saying that they're pretty accepting of that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of difficult given his kind of background.
Sure. So you can kind of understand Stephen's position, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of want to backtrack. You said a few minutes ago that Stephen's mom kind of cut into your conversation the other night, and you guys have said that this happens often. Does this happen in other parts of your life? For instance, when it comes to taking care of the house, or when it comes to going out? Does this kind of happen? Are there similar patterns?
Yeah. It seems like whenever we're getting really close, she'll pop in and just, she's there. She's always there.
How do you respond when that happens?
I get frustrated.
Sure.
I usually go in the other room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it ends up just being me and my mom, and he's kind of off in the other room.
So how do you respond when this happens? When she comes in and then Justin leaves the room, how do you respond?
I want to be supportive. I understand where he's coming from, but it's, I'm caught between two relationships. I obviously have allegiance to my mom, but this is the next phase of my life, and so I want to be as close with Justin, and I want our relationship to be that close. I'm close in different ways, but the point is that it's hard to make that decision because she's there and she's kind of demands attention.
Sure. Okay. So this is kind of an ongoing pattern that you guys are seeing in multiple areas of your life, and you're saying, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. I don't want to disappoint my spouse, but this is my mother. If this is kind of a tough situation for you.
Yeah.
So, in meeting with you guys today and hearing about the conversations that you guys have surrounding this particular topic, it sounds like Mom's coming up quite a bit in our conversations, as well as other areas of our life. Would you guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm wondering if we can maybe bring Mom in next session. Maybe talk to Mom and see if she's open to coming in for a session. And if so, let's bring her in next session so I can get a chance to meet her and have a conversation with all of you in the room.
After meeting with Justin and Stephen, Sarah decided to create a structural map to highlight some of the information that she had gathered and assessed during the first session. Her map tells us many things about the relationships that are occurring between these three individuals. For instance, we can talk about power as indicated by the size of the circles. In this case, Mom has the most power. We can also talk about boundaries as highlighted on this map. Mom's boundaries are much more closed, and so are Stephen's as indicated by the closed lines, whereas Justin's boundaries are much more open. We can also tell about the relationships between individuals. For instance, Mom and Stephen have an over-involved relationship as indicated by these three lines, whereas Mom and Justin are still involved with one another. However, they also have conflict as indicated by these cross lines. Justin and Stephen's relationship is not involved enough. We can also see, as indicated by this symbol here, that there is a coalition occurring with Mom and Stephen against Justin.
Mrs. Goldstein, it's a pleasure to have you here today.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
So, I've had the pleasure to get to know your son and Justin for a couple of sessions now. I'd like to take the opportunity to really get to know you. Tell me, what do you do?
I'm retired now, so I got a lot of time on my hands, and it's overwhelming.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. So what do you do with that time?
Well, Stephen here is my boy. Isn't he handsome? Stephen, I just really like being there for him.
Sure.
He's such a sweetheart. And did you hear that he works at the hospital?
I
He
did.
works at the hospital, and I'm so proud of him. And yeah, so I just come over. I do laundry. I do dishes. I do kugel. He loves kugel.
Okay.
Things like that.
So you're really trying to help out around the house for them.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been getting to know your son and Justin, and they've kind of told me about how they met, and they met about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I see you kind of doing that. What's happening?
Yeah. So did you hear how they met?
I did, but I'd like to hear it from you.
So this bakery that Justin works at. Oh, sorry. He owns. He owns it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I go into the bakery because I get my ham and posh there.
Mhm.
They've got the best ham and posh I've ever had.
Really?
Delicious. You gotta go. But I go in and I'm up at the counter paying for my Danish, and Justin here sees my credit card.
Mhm.
He sees my last name, and he asks me a question because he hears my accent. He can tell I'm a proud Jewish woman. And he says, "Oh, do you have a son? You have a son named Stephen?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And he says, "Oh, well, I've been going to Stephen here for a couple of months now. I've heard all about you." And lo and behold, Stephen never said a word to me. So he did not even tell Justin here that, let's see, what am I saying? Justin didn't know that Stephen hadn't told me about his relationship. And this is the first relationship he's had like this. And I am not okay with it.
Yeah, I kind of think this is a sensitive topic for you, so let's kind of slow down. Is this how you found out that Stephen was in a relationship with Justin?
It is.
Okay. Is this also how you found out that Stephen's actually gay?
It is. I didn't hear it from his mouth.
Okay.
I had to find out from another boy.
Okay. That must have been hard for you. Yeah.
It was, and my Wilbur passed away just a couple of years previous to tonight.
Okay. So
I didn't have anybody to go to.
yeah, you didn't look like you had anyone to turn to at that time. That must have been really challenging. So Mrs. Goldstein, it sounds like you've had a lot of changes in the past couple of years. You lost your husband and you've retired, so you don't have the distraction of work. And you found out that your son was in a relationship with a man, and you didn't know if you had anyone to turn to at that point.
And Stephen here, he always was with the young ladies.
Sure.
I had no idea.
So this was a surprise for you.
It was. He was really close with Caroline. I don't even know what happened. He doesn't talk to me anymore, and I have all this time, and I'm helping him around the house.
You're always...
Where's Stephen? You were always working. You're always with Justin here.
Okay. That actually is a nice transition to what I wanted to talk about today. I've seen you guys for a public session, and I'd like to continue to talk about why we are here today.
Well, I mean, we don't get time alone. It's, as you can see, this is kind of it here, and it's frustrating.
So this is kind of a common experience for you. You feel like you don't have time alone with just you and Stephen.
Yeah.
You know what?
Hang on a second. So you're feeling like you don't have enough time with Stephen, just the two of you.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what's happening for you?
My bakery, then, it's on the side. But other than that, I like to spend the rest of my time with Stephen. So.
Sure. Stephen, kind of to get your perspective. Before we start, can we have you two switch places for this conversation?
It's not really necessary.
Yeah, I think it is today.
You're the professional, not me. Although I am very strong.
Thank you, Ms. Goldstein. All right, okay, so you were about to give your perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I love my mom, but it's hard to feel like I'm transitioning to this other phase of my life. It's a big transition for me, and
You're not the
it's
only
hard.
one.
Hang on a second, Ms. Goldstein. I want to hear your perspective. I will be doing a lot of interrupting today. It's not for me to be rude, but I just want to hear everyone's perspective and make sure we all take turns speaking. So go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard living your life one way and now it's different. It's different and it's good, but it's hard. So it's new for me and I'm getting used to it, and I know it's hard for Dustin because he's been comfortable with the way he is for a long time, and it's new for me.
It's been a change for all of you. You're having to acclimate and adjust, it sounds like. Okay. Ms. Goldstein, you wanted to say something.
Well, I was just going to say that, Stephen here isn't the only one transitioning.
Sure.
I I feel like I don't know my baby anymore. And it's hard for me to see him with a fella, like Justin does. And I don't dislike you, Justin. I want you to know that. But it's just one of those things that I'm just not used to, and I don't know how I feel about it. And I help out around the house all the time. All the time, always. And I feel like I should be a part of this. I want to help Stephen here in all aspects of his life.
So this is a change for all of you as they just dated. You're kind of having some difficulty coming to terms with these changes. You know, you're trying to help out Stephen and Justin and take care of things around the house, and you want to spend that time with Stephen. Justin, what's kind of happening for you right now when you hear Stephen and Goldstein speaking?
I just feel left out. Like, you know, she's maybe a bigger part of his life than I am, and we're together, we're a couple. You know?
Yeah, and I know that he feels that way, and I don't want to feel that way. And I feel bad because I know that on one hand, you know, I'm all in my own house, so I feel bad when I feel pressure to kind of push her out. I know that she's not, you know, I'm the only son, I'm only that she has left.
Sure.
But I also want to be there for Justin.
Sure, you're kind of in the middle right now, and you're trying to start a new relationship with Justin, and you're trying to adjust this new lifestyle, but you don't want to leave mom out of it, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to rock the time out in her place.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it sounds like you guys are really wanting to spend some time together, just the two of you.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, weren't you going to do that the other night with the candles?
Here we go.
My mother knows.
Here we
She
go.
always knows. So let's talk about that. You know, I kind of got to hear about that the other night. You guys had some time set aside for just the two of you.
Yeah. I know Justin put a lot of effort into it. So, again, it's an example of that situation. I feel like I'm divided because I don't want to reject my mom, but I don't want to.
I just feel like she didn't respect our space. That was,
Justin, you never said anything about having a special evening.
I mean, candles.
I know, but I was going to come home and make dinner for you too. You just don't feel appreciated.
Yeah. I have a hard time knowing how to talk to my mom about how to be there and for her to have her give her space.
So you're saying you'd like to have that time alone with Justin.
Yeah.
Is that the first time that you've heard this?
Yeah.
What's that like for you?
Feels nice. I just want to see it.
Okay. What would you like to see happen?
I want just time, me and him, just alone. Even just a couple nights out of the week would be an improvement at this point. Yeah.
Okay. So you're both in agreement you'd like to have some time, just the two of you, even if it were just a couple nights out of the week.
Yep. Yeah.
So you guys have expressed to me today how important it is for you to have the time together, just the two of you. How do you guys want to nurture that time with each other without anyone else there? You know, they can't nurture this time. Hang on, Mrs. Goldstein. Hang on, just one moment.
Well, I mean, firstly, I think just then we need time alone.
You probably need to schedule it.
Yep.
It's so easy for, I know I'm busy, I know he's busy. Just scheduling and making sure it's somewhat of a planning on it. It's not just something that's in his mind or something that's in my mind.
I mean, are you really even able to do that right now?
Well, this is part of me. This is why it's so hard for me to talk to Justin about this stuff, is because I know they mean well, but Justin and I have to have these conversations.
Stephen, how do you want to have that conversation with Stephen without mom?
Well, I mean, being able to talk and set times is probably the first thing for Justin and I, set plans. But otherwise, being able to just, I guess, feel like I can talk to my mom without breaking her heart. I don't want to feel like, I'm cutting her off from her whole world.
Can you tell her that right now?
Mom, I want you in my life, but I need to be able to have time set aside for Justin and I.
I understand your tone. Thank you for being honest with me.
So how can we continue to nurture that time with just the two of you?
Well, I mean, as long as mom feels like she can be okay with us having this time and tell her nights that we need to be alone, then I think that's the first big step is knowing that we don't have to worry about any interruption. It's on my part.
Just let me know.
you let me know when you're pulling out the candles.
All right, Mom.
I can go hang out with your Aunt Cindy. What about she? She's a friend.
Justin, how does all this sound for you?
It sounds good. I mean, I think that's doable. Thank you.
So it sounds like for this week's assignment, you guys are both interested in setting aside time specifically for the two of you, even if it means scheduling it into your plan or daily agenda. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So why don't we, for the next week, schedule one night? Let's just start with one night for the two of you. That just has time for you guys to come together. How do we feel about that?
Sounds great.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Mrs. Goldstein, I can understand this is going to be challenging for you. You know, you're used to spending a lot of time over at their place, dinner, you help them out, you look forward to spending time with them. This is going to be hard for you.
It is very much so going to be difficult for me.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular that will be challenging for you?
I just like providing for my boy, and it's been very difficult seeing him be in this relationship with Justin. But I really that he's happy. I know my son, and I see him happy. This is what, and at home with Justin, and I don't know. I mean, I was just trying to do my part in taking care of him and Justin. So I think the hardest part is just going to be not being able to provide for them as often as I would really like to.
Okay. Well, let's start with just one night. Let's go slow. What would make it easier for you on that one night?
I don't know. I still feel like I need to get out of the house.
Okay. Okay. You know, I know you mentioned earlier about spending time with your sister. Is that something that you would have the option to do?
Yeah, Stephen, his Aunt Sissy, she's going through a tough time right now. She just lost her Chihuahua, Joseph. So, I mean, she's kind of having this void to fill, without JoJo in the house. And, she really likes latkes, like I can make latkes for her.
Mm-hmm.
And, we really like those TVs on television, like The Bachelor.
Okay.
We like that. So I guess we could do latkes and The Bachelor one night a week.
Excellent.
Monday night this month.
Excellent. I think you guys have some great ideas in place. I can't wait to hear about it from you next week. Same time work for you guys?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's sure.
Thank you guys for coming in. Mrs. Goldstein, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for coming in.
You, you're a doll.